Hey everyone, welcome to Stratele Studios. I'm Jeff Castanon. Welcome to another No Pause video reaction and analysis. Today, I have a request from my patron Brian, and this is kind of a combo video that goes with the one I did recently called Fellow Traveler from Attica Quartet. And this is Steve Reich, and the song is Different Trains. And let me read something that Brian sent me that gives you a little bit of background about this. It says, in 1988, American composer Steve Reich wrote this work for pre-recorded tape and live string quartet. The pre-recorded part consists of another string quartet, sound samples from both American and European trains, and perhaps more poignantly, voice samples from interviews with Holocaust survivors. This is an amazing work. Since the pre-recorded part was made so long ago, it's unlikely that any of the people whose voices were sampled are still with us today, which makes the lyric, "But today, they're all gone," doubly powerful. Fortunately, the composer is still with us at age 87, and in this 2016 performance, he comes up on stage afterwards. He's the guy wearing the hat. So let's get into this. So, get yourself a drink. I filled this up. This is a 28-minute video. So if you don't have the luxury of watching this all the way straight through, then just take it in bits. But I want to see this in its entirety, and I can't wait. So let's get into this. Let's hit that play button. Here we go. Wow.
From Chicago. From Chicago. From Chicago. From Chicago to New York. From Chicago to New York. From Chicago. From Chicago. From Chicago to New York. From Chicago to New York. From Chicago to New York. From Chicago. From Chicago to New York. From Chicago.
Tempo changes.
One of the fastest trains. One of the fastest trains. One of the fastest trains. One of the fastest train, fastest train. 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 One of the fastest train. One of the fastest train, fastest train. One of the fastest train. One of the fastest train, fastest train. One of the fastest train. One of the fastest train, fastest train. One of the fastest train. One of the fastest train, fastest train. One of the fastest train. One of the fastest train, fastest train. One of the fastest train. One of the fastest train, fastest train. One of the fastest train.
Train from New York train to New York, New York. Track train to New York. Track train to New York, New York. Track train to New York. Track train to New York, New York. Track train to New York. Track train to New York, New York. Track train to New York. From New York to Los Angeles. 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 New York. 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 New York. New York to Los Angeles. New York. New York. New York to Los Angeles. New York. New York. New York to Los Angeles. New York. New York. New York to Los Angeles. New York. New York. New York to Los Angeles. New York. New York.
Different trains every day. Different trains. 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 From Chicago. From Chicago. From Chicago to New York. From Chicago to New York. From Chicago. From Chicago. From Chicago to New York. From Chicago to New York. From Chicago to New York. From Chicago. From Chicago to New York. From Chicago. In 1939. 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 In
1941, 41, 1941, 1941, 41, 1941, 1941, 41, 1941, 1941.
1941, I guess it must have been.
Oh man, that's cool.
1941, 41, I guess it must have been. 1941, 41, I guess it must have been. 1941, I guess it must have been. 1941, 41, I guess it must have been. 1941, I guess it must have been.
1940, 1940, 1940, 1940, 1940, 1940, 1940, on my birthday. Germans walking. Walked into Holland.
Germans invaded Hungary. I was in second grade. Bastard smooth. Very tall man. His hair was completely plastered smooth. Very tall man. Said, black crows. Black crows, said, black crows invaded our country. Said, black crows invaded our country many years ago, and pointed my enemy. Pointed my enemy.
Middle school. Middle school. Middle school. Middle school. Let's go, Reich. Let's go, Reich. Let's go, Reich. And she said, quick, go. And she said, quick. And she said, quick. And she said, quick, go. Quick, go. And he said, don't breathe. 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 Into the Stratele. Into the Stratele. For 4 days before night. For 4 days before night. And then we went through these same-sounding names. eventually strange sounding names. Polish. Polish names. Lots of cattle wagons there. Lots of cattle wagons. Lots of cattle wagons there. They were loaded with people. They were loaded with people. They shaved us. They shaved us. They tattooed a number on our arm. They tattooed a number on our arm. Flames going up in the sky. Flames going up in the sky. It was smoky. It was smoky going up in the sky. Flames going up in the sky. It was smoky. It was smoky. Going up in the sky. It was smoky. It was smoky.
War was over. War was over. Over. War was over. War was over. Over. War was over. War was over. Over. Over.
Are you sure? Are you sure? The war is over. The war is over. Over.
going to America. Going to America.
Wow, he's getting chords out of that.
America. Going to America. Going to America. America, going to America, going to America. To Los Angeles. To Los Angeles. To Los Angeles, Los Angeles, to Los Angeles. New York, New York. New York, New York. New York, New York. New York, New York, New York.
From New York to Los Angeles. From New York to Los Angeles. From New York to Los Angeles. From New York. To Los Angeles, New York. New York to Los Angeles, New York, New York, New York to Los Angeles, New York.
One of the fastest trains.
But today, they're all gone. They're all gone. But today, they're all gone. They're all gone. But today, they're all gone.
There was one girl. There was one girl. There was one girl who had a beautiful voice. There was one girl who had a beautiful voice. There was one girl who had a beautiful voice. They laughed to listen to the singing. They laughed to listen to the singing. Yes. Yes. They laughed to listen to the singing. And when she stopped singing, they said, more, more. And when she stopped singing, they said, more, more. And they applauded.
There he is. What an amazing performance and an amazing composition. Boy, lots going on in this. First thing I want to comment on was the first thing that I really noticed with this when I first started listening to it, and that was the gentleman who's playing the low strings. The fact that he was able to play the interval that sounded like a train whistle on that instrument was amazing to me, because he would bow that thing. I was convinced that was like a sample at first, and then the camera panned over to him and I could see his hand in the right position as he's bowing it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's playing that, and that was amazing. I noticed they're wearing headsets, so I'm curious to know if they're getting audible cues. And what I mean by that is, for anyone who has done any kind of live performance with a monitor system, an in-ear monitor system, you have the luxury of hearing things like the click track and audible cues that the audience doesn't get to hear. And it's possible that they are getting audible cues. It's possible that they're getting the tempos. I'm not sure, but it would make sense to help in the execution of this, even though they have the music in front of them, to help them to know what change is coming up, when it's coming up. They can get an audible cue in the form of a voice saying, like, next section coming up in 5, 4, coming up in 4, 3, 2, 1, go, that kind of a thing. It's possible. I don't know. And the reason why I bring that up for this piece is because of the repetition of what they're playing. This may sound easy because they're playing like 2 notes in a pattern, that kind of thing, but they're doing this like repeated pattern over and over and over and over. So are they counting? Are they counting the iterations of this? Are they counting so they know in the music where to go? Are they reading it? I mean, how are they doing this? This is a hard thing to do. It seems easy because it's only a couple notes, but it is really hard to stay in the music in the right place when you've got that type of thing that you have to execute, that you have to perform. So I was wondering if they got some kind of help in their monitors for this, because otherwise, wow, that's amazing. Not only that, but then you also have tempo changes, and their tempo changes are like immediate. So they're going one tempo, then they're going here, then the next one's like this, and there's no build up to it. It's just they're dead on, and all of them are right on top of that tempo. And that is mind-blowing to me, that they're able to shift tempos like that, and they all stay together. So how are they doing that? That's what I would love to know, is how they're doing that, because there's a bunch of tempo changes in this. Another thing that I noticed was a lot of the 2-note patterns were in I would say, paradiddle type of format. So that would be bop, 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 bop. Right, left, left, left. If you're a drummer, you know what I'm talking about. So these patterns, bop, 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 bop. This kind of felt like that to me. And I heard it a lot. I heard that pattern a lot throughout. With different notes and different tempos and that kind of thing. And lastly, the most amazing and interesting and brilliant part of this for me was the conversion of the spoken word into music and pitch. And somebody was saying something, it was a sample, and then they were able to get like the pitches that the person was inherently saying with their voice, and they found pitches that were very close to what the spoken parts were. So they were playing their instruments like the melody that was coming from the spoken words, and they would play with the sample, the spoken word sample, and they would play with that, and then they would stop the sample, or the sample would stop, and then they would do it again on the instrument, and then they would again join the sample and play that together. I loved that. That was so intriguing, so so captivating, so awesome. I think that was my favorite part of this, was the fact that they were translating that spoken word into pitches. So very, very cool, brilliant. Steve Reich is known for this kind of stuff, this kind of music. He's like a pioneer in this style, and brilliant, very brilliant man. So, oh boy, that was so cool. If you're still with me, oh, you're awesome. You're awesome. You have a very long attention span. So if you made it to the end, comment, because you get kudos for sticking with me through this. That was amazing. I have to say that there are moments in this where I was in a trance. I mean, it's hard not to be. So with the repetition, the repeats on the parts and everything, it is hypnotizing. And there were times in this when I was just really gone, and I was just so hypnotized and so into it, and then I realized I'd have to come back out of it. So that's really cool. Yes, different trains. Brian, thank you so much. And this is the second part of the train theme that you had brought to my attention. So I appreciate that. That was really cool. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Please write in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this too, and whatever little nuances that you heard and found in it too. And I'd love to hear from you. All right. Come back for more cool stuff. See you next time.